I've made a lot of mistakes and I'm here to talk about all of them. I have a pen. Why do I have a pen? You're not stupid because I did it too. So it's okay. If anything, we're stupid together, so it's fine. And don't put so much pressure on buying all these different products because that just defeats the whole purpose. Hey guys, it's your girl Anne. I hope you're having a great morning, night, afternoon, whenever you're watching this video. And I'm sorry if my camera's shaking a little bit because I'm I have you guys on a pillow right now. If you guys have been around since the beginning, then you guys probably know that I've gone through a lot with my hair. Literally has been a journey. Specifically, we're just gonna be talking about my loc journey, but I did want to preface by saying that I actually started my official hair journey when I shaved my head, and I do have a video of that you guys can check out. And it's like a whole hair diary that I did. It literally shows me getting my hair chopped off. So if you guys are interested in just seeing my whole hair journey, not including necessarily this locking process, I do have videos of me documenting that. Just forewarning you guys, I was still learning how to edit videos and all that, so the video quality is not very good, so just keep that in mind. It was my first video actually. But today we're actually going to be talking about the journey of me locking my hair, and like I said, it definitely has been a journey because I've had to learn a lot, I've had to grow a lot, I've made a lot of mistakes, and I'm here to talk about all of them so you don't make them too. If your hair is locked, or if you're thinking about locking your hair and just want to hear from somebody who is being realistic about the reality of the process, because I've seen a lot of videos and they just make it seem so perfect. So I'm just gonna show you guys the reality of it, and I'll have some videos, I'll have some pictures that you guys can see, and I'm just gonna embarrass myself pretty much. So I started my loc journey about a year ago. It's been a little bit over a year, I think around October. A little bit before that, I was just a loose natural for about 2 years, as my hair was growing back from shaving it 3 years ago. So that gives you guys a little idea of the time. And I did the 2-strand twist method, and I don't know if you can probably even see a little bit where the twists are still in my hair, and we'll get a little bit more into that in a minute. But yeah, I did the 2-strand method. I actually had my sister do it for me, and she knew how big I wanted my parts to be and all that fun stuff. And I was going for more of a thick loc look because I actually have a lot of hair, just naturally I just have a lot of hair, and I didn't want the individual locks to be too small because then my hair would just be so much volume, and I don't want all that volume, It doesn't really matter whether you get it done professionally or have someone else do it for you. It's pretty simple. If you've ever done if you're a loose natural and you've ever done a twist out, it's basically the same thing. You just have to be very intentional with how you do your parts, because of course your hair is going to be like that, until you decide to cut your hair off, or if you ever make that decision at all. So you definitely want to be more mindful than you would with just a regular twist out or whatever it is that you would do with your hair, because it's something that you're intending to be more permanent. So use your own discretion with that. For me, I had my sister do it for me, and she did a great job. I'll try to insert a picture of how my hair looked initially. After doing research, I just found that was the best method that got the look that I wanted. I found that people who did the 2-strand twist, they just had thicker locks, and the process I think maybe takes a little longer from what I've seen. I just feel the look of it is just overall what I was going for. So yeah, I did the 2-strand method, and if you guys like the way that my hair kind of looks right now, then maybe consider doing the 2-strand method too. For the first few months, maybe up until 7 months, yeah, so for the first 7 months or so, I was actually doing my own retwists, and this is the part where it's just kind of definitely a learning curve for me, and I was just, I don't know what I was doing, but I was doing something, and I thought I was doing so good too. But looking back at these videos in comparison to what my retwists look like now, your girl did not know what she was doing. I will show you a video of what my first ever retwist looks like. Yeah, not very cute. So I would say a few of the things that went wrong in my first ever retwist, because I did look at videos and tried to educate myself, and you know, I knew about too much buildup in your hair, so you don't really want to use wax or different things like that that just cause a lot of buildup in your hair. So I was actually just using aloe vera gel, and it was like completely natural, and I used, of course, water just to kind of spritz, and then I also used just oils and everything just to kind of keep my hair overall looking good and hydrated, like locking in the hydration. I think where I went wrong in my first ever retwist was, first, I did not leave the clips in long enough. So I will definitely tell you, make sure you leave it in. It sounds so stupid, but just in case there's someone out there that may have made the same mistake as me, you're not stupid, because I did it too. So it's okay. If anything, we're stupid together, so it's fine. But yeah, make sure you let your hair completely dry. I think I was just very impatient, and so I just like needed my hair to be unclipped, and it just was not completely dry. I will say, because your hair is like twisted, it will take a lot longer than you think it will to dry. So honestly, I would recommend, if you're retwisting your own hair, I would recommend doing it on a day that you don't really plan on going anywhere, and doing it like first thing in the morning. That way it has all day to dry. I wouldn't do it the night before and leave the clips in, because I just feel like the way that you sleep and just like, you know, pulling on the clips, it's just not, I think it could potentially lead to breakage over time, and I don't think it's a good idea to be laying on the hair when it's like clipped like that. So I would recommend doing it in the morning. And if you have one of those like dryers that you can like put on your head, then you can definitely try that, and it'll probably take like a lot less time to do it that way. Personally, I would rather just do it first thing in the morning and just hang out at home all day and just let it dry, and maybe stand outside or whatever. And if you do need to run errands, don't be afraid to wear a hair, like a silk cap. Like, people can judge you, but let them. Like, that's stupid. Anyways, I would say definitely don't make the same mistake as I did. Let your hair dry completely. And another thing I think I went wrong with my first retwist was I didn't twist my hair tight enough, because I couldn't really see too well, is the excuse I'm gonna use, but I couldn't really see too well. So I actually just like, I didn't do the whole palm roll method, which I honestly, after seeing the difference between what I was doing and the palm roll method, I highly recommend doing that method. I know there's some people that are opposed to that method because of breakage, but if you really look at as many videos as I've seen, almost everyone has a different opinion about almost everything. So it's like, at the end of the day, just do whatever works for your hair. Obviously, if you're noticing breakage, if you're noticing your hair thinning and different things like that, then switch your method. Like, I don't know, like, you don't have to do the exact same thing. There's plenty of people that have locks and they're doing something completely different and their hair is thriving. So it's like, that's one thing that you can take out of this, if nothing else, that one way is not the only way, because everybody's hair is so different. You have to have a way that works for you. So definitely trial and error is the best way to go about it. Don't feel pressured to do a certain routine that someone that you saw on YouTube do. My purpose of this video is not necessarily to show you a routine, is just to show you some mistakes that I made that led to me having to not have my hair thrive as much as it could have early on in my journey. And then I also want to just backtrack a little bit too and mention something that I completely forgot to mention. My sister, when she retwisted my hair, I don't know what it's called. But when she retwisted it, she did this like method where she was like rolling it with her 2 fingers. Like, I don't know if anyone knows what that means, like, or if that even has a name, but that's just normally how she does twists, just to kind of keep it like really tight, and it doesn't like have a lot of flyaway hairs and different things like that. And I don't think she realized that like that probably wasn't the best method. I mean, I didn't see anything that said that you couldn't do it that way, but I just didn't think that she was doing it that way. But anyways, if anyone knows what I'm talking about, she did that. And if anyone knows what the name of it is, go ahead and comment down below so that other people can know what I'm talking about. But yeah, she did that method, which caused my hair to take a lot longer to lock, and I didn't realize it until I was like almost a year in, and I was like, why is there's so much of my hair that's not like locking. Like it was almost like the new growth was locking way faster than the ends of my hair, and I just didn't think that was normal, considering that the ends of my hair were definitely twisted longer, so it would just make sense that it would lock first and just kind of gradually go up, but that wasn't the case. I'm sure it'll lock eventually. Some parts of it have, in certain locks than others, but that's definitely something that you want to consider if you normally twist your hair this way. Definitely don't do it like that, because it's gonna because of the way that you're twisting the hair and you're tightening it so much into that twist form, it is just gonna cause your hair to take a lot longer to lock, because when the twists are not as like uniformed and perfect, yes, you might have your hair kind of untwist in certain parts, but at the end of the day it will still lock together, and you'll just have to give it time, you know, just be patient about it. So it wasn't until July of 2021, so almost a year from now, is when I finally figured out how the heck I'm supposed to retwist my hair, or you know, the method that worked for me. I started doing the palm roll method, so that worked really well, instead of just like literally just taking my hair and just like twisting it like this, like with my 2 fingers, because it made sense at the time to do it this way, but because I was like, oh, why do I have to like literally palm roll? But when you palm roll, it keeps the hair tighter. Now this is a very like, if I could call this video anything, it would be like locking your hair for dummies, because it seems simple and it makes sense now that I know it, but it's just like not everybody thinks about that stuff. This is the video for people that just need to have it really breaking down, like, you know, break down the information, not just say palm roll and then expect people to know what that means, like, or you know, or expect people to understand why you're doing it that way. Like, explain it. And so I really had to just discover for myself, make the mistakes, and see how it was supposed to be done. But like I said, in my mind, I thought just kind of like going like this. It's like, yeah, same thing, but it wasn't tight enough. It wasn't going all the way down on my locks where it needed to. It was just kind of like sticking on the top, which wasn't really helping with the whole locking process. And so, like I said, it wasn't until about July 2021 where I really, like, through trial and error, really figured it out. Luckily, my hair was still locking, even though I wasn't doing a good job of really retwisting it. Another thing that I feel like people don't really tell you is that your hair will still lock whether you retwist it or you don't. The retwist is just to really give it more of like a uniformed, nice look as your hair is going through its locking process. But if you never retwisted your hair, it would still lock. It would just look a little bit more freeformed. And even if you don't want the freeform look, all you would have to do is just separate your hair out every, you know, so often, so it doesn't really like bond with the other locks, and you could still get that look. It just won't be as like uniform looking. It'll just be a little bit looser and thicker and different things like that. So that's why they tell you, which I didn't realize this before, but when you wait longer in between retwists, your hair actually can benefit from that. A lot of people, they want to have that consistent like fresh retwist look, but it can definitely lead to a lot of hair thinning. So the longer you wait, the better it is for your hair, just because it gives it like a thicker lock look, and it just overall it's just healthier for you to not constantly be manipulating your hair and tightening it, putting it in these hairstyles, which will be getting me into my next point. Fast forward to the past couple of months, I actually went to I wouldn't say like she was like necessarily a professional because she didn't have like her own like salon or anything like that, and she was like, I think like 22 or something, but she wasn't me and she knew more than I did. So I went to somebody who was more skilled, I should say, in locking hair, and she did my hair for the first time. So that was the very first time that I had somebody else do my hair. And as you can see from this picture, I noticed a lot of growth, and I didn't want to say anything while she was doing my hair, but she actually used wax on my hair. But like part of me like was okay with it because of the way that it turned out. Like it was just so nice, so sleek. There was so much of my hair that was able to just like I was able to really see the new growth in my hair, because that wax was holding, like it was not going anywhere. And even, you know, like a couple weeks later, like my hair was still looked really good in comparison to whenever like I did my own hair. But you know, for people who may consider retwisting with wax or who have done it before and they don't think there's anything wrong with it, I will tell you it's not a good idea. I know it looks cute. I know it's your retwist staying longer, but you're gonna regret it in the long run. I think if you do it like once, which is like, I think I actually went back to her one more time. Yeah, I think if you do it once or twice, you know, obviously it's not gonna be really damaging to your hair or cause a lot of buildup just if you're doing it once or twice. But as you continue to do it, that wax does not leave your hair. It doesn't matter how well you wash it, it does not leave your hair. So definitely don't recommend using wax. It looked really good, but just don't do it because you're gonna regret it. From then on, because she did a good job and everything and she washed my hair, but then I just couldn't get over the whole wax thing. So I was like, probably not coming back after the second time. And then I had my sister do my hair, and I will insert a picture of what that looked like. And she did a fantastic job. She's never done it before, but she just looked at a video and yeah, she was able to figure it out. And I even had her like the 2-strand, I forget what it's called, but like you take 2 locks and you kind of like twist them together as your like the protective style or your style after you do your retwist. And so she did that with my hair, and then after like 2 or 3 weeks I actually took out the twist, and then my hair actually looked pretty good after the fact too. So I really like that style, and I think I'm going to be more consistent about doing that specific style because it's just so easy. Don't really recommend doing like those crazy styles that really pull on your hair. They look cute, but if it's hard for you to like really maneuver your hair and it's like tugging at it, don't really recommend that because it will cause, again, breakage. So if you can avoid just styling your hair altogether, I know these locticians love to do it for you and they love to charge you for it, and it looks cute and it's just uncomfortable. I only got my hair like officially styled like once, and I'll show you what that looks like, and that was actually the girl that put wax in my hair and everything, and it looked cute, but that was like tugging on my hair, and I was like, I don't understand how people can do this. Maybe I'm tender-headed, I don't know, but like, no, that's just not it, you know? And so if you want to do a style for an event or whatever, like I can see how that, would make sense to do, but I definitely don't think it'll benefit you to constantly style your hair every single time you get a retwist. But I will say that the best alternative to doing that is to do what I did with my hair and just to do 2-strand retwist, and so that way it won't be tugging too much on your hair and you do kind of have somewhat of a style to it. And if you have thick locks and you don't think you can do it, you'd be surprised because my hair is pretty thick, but I was able to do that 2-strand retwist, and it's really nice because you can leave it on for as long as you want and still style your hair different ways. It just gives you options instead of just having a specific style that you're stuck with until you wash your hair. So yeah, those are my little tidbits, things that I'm learning. I'm obviously still learning as I go through this process. It's only been a little over a year, so I'm sure I'm gonna come out with an updated video and I'm gonna be like, hey guys, messed up. Another thing that I want to mention is that like I see a lot of different options for just moisturizing your hair or just refreshing your hair, hydrating your hair before you do your retwist, like in between, like how often to do it, whether it's a couple of days or whether it's like every day, how often you should add water to your hair, all these different things. And I will say that they put a lot of pressure on doing so much with your lock. One of the biggest reasons that I locked my hair was because of just the simplicity of it, just letting my hair do its thing and not just adding too much with it when it comes to, styling it or when it comes to adding products and stuff. Like I feel like even in the simplicity of your locks, we try to just overcomplicate things. Like I don't understand why we have to make it complicated. Like I tried all these different types of oils and tried all these different methods and how often I should hydrate my hair, how often I should, mist it, all these different things. And then I just realized, I was like, let me just try just spraying it with water every day and adding oils where I feel like my hair is just super dry and just needs something to really lock in that moisture. because of course, you know, spraying my hair with water every day, and even just taking a shower, just letting the water, like, you know, not wearing a shower cap and just letting the water touch it, and just the mist of the shower, the hot shower, just go into your hair. That is a really good thing to do as well that I'm noticing. It really helps my hair. But just, you know, listening to your hair and just understanding like what the needs are based on how it feels. Like, I realized I was just adding way too many oils. Like, I was adding oils to my hair like every other day, and it just wasn't necessary, because I realized like when I was just hydrating my hair with water and not locking the moisture in with oils, it was fine. And I did it every day, and honestly, like, I've been doing this for probably like maybe over 2 weeks, and I'm already noticing my hair is just benefiting so much more from it, and dare I say, like, it's even starting to lock a lot faster. So of course, do whatever works for your hair. I'm not saying not to use oils. I'm not saying you have to do exactly what I did, but I just want to shed light on the fact that there's not one way to do it, and don't put so much pressure on buying all these different products, because that just defeats the whole purpose, in my opinion. Like, that's not, our hair was not designed to have all these additives to it. Like, if you go back to, you know, times when we didn't have the options of using all these products, we just used what was provided for us, and that was basically water. And then, you know, if we're able to extract oils from other things, then we would add that to our hair. But it wasn't like all these complicated things or moisturizers that we had to do, and it's not necessary now. It may smell nice or look nice or whatever the case is, but you don't have to do it. If you want to do it and it's helping your hair, do what you want, but you don't have to. So I'm just taking off the pressure from people that are having anxiety about their hair right now. You don't have to do it, so just don't do it, you know? So I feel like this video is already way too long. So I think what I'm gonna do is I wanna do a part 2 to this video. I'm gonna be talking about how often I wash my hair, how often I do my retwist. I know I was talking about just keeping it minimal when it comes to the products, but I will share some of the things I've been using, and I'll just also maybe do a walkthrough of just what I do when I wash my hair and different things like that. I'll be getting more in depth with my personal routine. Like I said, this video was just more so overall just things that I've learned, but if you guys like the way my hair looks and you want to also have your hair look like this, then I'll definitely share my routine with you guys. Not super crazy, but that'll be in my next video. So make sure you guys subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like this video, and comment down below any questions you guys might have that I did not touch on, and just start a discussion, because I would love to hear about it. Like, I'm still learning, so I'm more than willing to hear any different perspectives that you guys may have on some of the things that we've already talked about, and let's just start a conversation and just grow together. But anyways, I'm just gonna end the video here, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And just remember that Jesus loves you, I love you, and if you haven't heard that anyone's loved you today, there's 2 people that love you, so, you know, it should be a good thing. All right, bye guys.